Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Today I'm sharing the Crimson Asteria Tarot. Now this tarot deck is by the same creator, Amanda Spicer, who brought us the Solero Occulto Tarot. Now if you're familiar with this deck, you will know that it is very highly sought after. I mean, people look for this deck. This is the second edition. I really did like the first edition, but of course I waited too long. I got the second edition and I am very happy to have that. She also created another deck, which was the Oracle deck to accompany this tarot deck, which is called Mercury, Salt, and Sulfur Oracle. I didn't buy that deck. I wish I had. So if anybody has that deck and they're not connecting with it, let me know. I would be glad to take it off your hands. So she is also the owner of Pranic Forest. Pranic Forest sells beauty items and essential oils. Now Amanda is a master herbalist and certified aromatherapist. She practices a multitude of modalities. She was initiated by her grandmother, who was a clairvoyant medium, an owl witch, and she had Anglo-Saxon roots. Her father was from the Caribbean, and he shared stories, experiences, and teachings of exorcism, healing, brujeria, and divination. She used this to propel her deeply on the path of esoterica and how beauty expresses itself. Now, the reason that I'm explaining all this and giving you a little background on her and Asteria is because it will help you understand the deck a little bit more. Now, I did not back this deck when it came out on Kickstarter because I thought the images are very similar to what I have in the Solero Occulto. This has a completely different feel than this deck. After the Kickstarter ended with this deck, I was like, dang it, why didn't I just do it? Sometimes I just delay things a little bit too much. So after that, I don't know why, I don't know what happened, but I completely missed the pre-sale. So I had to wait for it to be available on her regular website. So now Asteria means of the stars or starry one, and she is a Titan goddess of the falling stars and nighttime goddess of divination, so dreams and astrology. And again, I'm explaining all of this for a reason so you can kind of understand the images that you're going to see within this deck. So first, let me explain a little bit about the deck in general. So the cards. The cards are pretty large. They are the same size as the Solero Occulto Tarot. And as you can see here, there's your standard RWS. As you can see from the cards, they are just, I've been telling my friend Tara that I don't know what it is, but all these shiny things have been really, really attracting me lately. Like heat-treated crystals and decks that have glitter and gold and shimmering things on them. I don't know what the deal is lately, but interestingly enough, I was watching a video by Masha, Musings by Masha last night, and she stated the same thing, that she's really been attracted to all the shiny things lately, which I thought, okay, so it's not just me. It's, it's real. This deck comes in this beautiful, well-crafted box. Has little notch holes, and again, very nice and shiny there. Look at that beautiful sun. Oh my goodness. Has a little picture of some of the cards in the back. But I have to say that I really do like this box. Now, the Solero Occulto, this is the box that came inside of another box. So of course that other box is put away and it's just wasted space. This I put, like I said, I don't have tons of space for all my decks, so I usually will take them out. If they're a box within a box, then I bring them down to this. If they're separated, I don't like them, I put them in a bag. But this is what lives on my shelf because the other box was too big. This box makes sense. So I would be glad to keep them in the box that they came in. So the cards are an anti-scratch matte lamination on the front. And let's look at this edging. The edging is I don't know, see, I can't pick it up here. Maybe I already took the glitter off. They're this beautiful matte red edging, and they did have a little bit of sparkle or glitter, and you know what? It may have come off already. I'm not quite, oh, there is, it's there. I don't think the camera's gonna be able to pick it up, but it is there. And I have used the deck a couple of times just to kind of get a feel for the deck, kind of understand it a little bit more. And I've gone through the cards and really looked up history on Asteria to really understand it. So the deck comes with, of course, your 22 majors and your 56 minors. In addition, in this particular order that I got, she included 2 extra cards to journey with, and then she also included 4 bonus cards. Now she states that she's not quite sure if they're going to be included in future print runs. And the reason being is that those cards, I believe, are like a sneak preview to accompanying Oracle deck. And after really kind of looking at things, it kind of makes sense to me that those cards would completely be within another Oracle deck. Okay, oh, one more thing. There is a gold Medusa card, which is fantastic. I'm just like, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love this card. And I've had all kinds of synchronicities with Medusa since I got this deck. Very interesting. Okay, the booklet. I got 2 booklets. The other one is upstairs. I just kind of put it away. But 2 booklets because the first booklet had a misprint and the print was really, really tiny. Now, as you can see here, if you have good eyes, then you can probably see through this just fine. Me, I'm definitely going to need my glasses and a lot of light even to read this. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just my 55-year-old eyes that, you know, are at this point right now. Okay, so it is a basic little white book, just black and white print, no pictures. It does have each of the cards that are included in here. It has each of those cards' description in here, those extra cards. So I don't know how she's going to handle that in the future. Maybe she's going to print a new guidebook for future printings. I'm not quite sure. And only one spread is included, but it is the Celtic Cross. But it's a nice little book. I'm going to give you a brief description, or try to be brief. And believe me, I didn't write all this. I'm kind of paraphrasing from someplace that I looked it up on. I've been doing a little bit of research and I kind of put it all together because I really wanted to understand the story of Asteria. So she was a Titan goddess and the daughter of 2 Titans, Cous and Phoebe. Her sister is Leto. She married the Titan Perseus. And then she had a very impressionable daughter, which all of us know and recognize as Hecate, who is the goddess of witchcraft. So Asteria lived in Olympus, and she and her sister were both pursued by Zeus. Asteria did not want to have anything to do with Zeus. Her sister Leda went ahead and had a relationship with him. Now, because Zeus did not like to take no for an answer, she really had to flee the whole area. So the legend or the mythology states that she turned herself into a quail and plunged herself into the sea and then transformed herself into an island. And this island is now referred to as Delos. Well, when her sister, Leto, became pregnant with twins from Zeus, Zeus's wife got a little upset and had a little bit of vendetta for Leto. Leto went to the only piece of land on earth where she could be safe, which was the island that was her sister because she transformed into this land. And she bore two children by the name of Artemis and Apollo. There is so much within this. Now, I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but I'm trying to give you the basis of the story of Asteria, so that way when you're looking at the images, you can maybe understand, and then I'll go over a few of my thoughts afterwards. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the flip through. When reading up a little bit more about Amanda, she is a self-taught artist, and she says that she used a mixture of watercolor, pencils, Prismacolor pigment markers, pen, and some acrylic paint. And I love what she did because she has a very limited color palette here. But she used all of these different, I can't even remember what to call them. It was just in my mind and then it left. But she used them so well to create these different shadows and different lighting within the pictures. And I just think that the art is really, really pretty. Now, because I told you the story of Asteria and how she turned into a dove, and she plunged into the sea and made herself into an island, and turned out to be the only place that her sister was safe from Zeus's wife. I think you can kind of understand more now, like when you see this, how there's a lot of water within the deck and a lot of wings within the deck. To me, that kind of describes it. Now this Ten of Swords, I just think it is so pretty because it's not this person just laying flat and done. This person understands what has happened. She understands just the depth of everything going on, but she's going to get up and keep going. And the guidebook kind of reflects that as well. This I like because, and this, I don't know what this is. If anybody knows what this is at the bottom of her foot, it almost looks like a little person kind of holding her up. I'm not quite sure, but I find that very interesting. And then also back here, I also found this particular image. So the Two of Cups, this symbol is often mistaken for the medical symbol, and as a matter of fact, was mistaken by the medical community as the medical symbol, but it is in fact not the actual medical symbol. This is the caduceus, and it is the staff that's carried by Hermes. And Hermes is the half-brother to Apollo and Artemis, who was identified as a Roman god of Mercury. If you remember, she put out that oracle deck and it contains Mercury. So I'm wondering if when she's done with all of these decks, and I think that's why she kind of like, once they're done, because I think she's going to continue. In my thought, I think she's going to continue and make this beautiful story of mythology that combines all of her oracle and tarot decks. Now, this particular symbol, I find it so interesting that the medical industry took the symbol on even though it is not the medical symbol. The medical symbol is one snake and this is two, and then this has wings. But if you look into the caduceus, you will find that it is a symbol of negotiation and trade and commerce. And I don't know, I kind of find that interesting that the medical industry took that over. Of all the symbols, they mistakenly took that over as the medical symbol. I don't know, just me. But anyhow, the Eight of Swords, I really like the depiction here. And then again, you see this snake coming up as well. Now this one, the Six of Swords. Now, I have noticed in this deck that there are a lot of times when, in comparison with like the Rider-Waite-Smith, where they're looking in an opposite direction, and she has quite the worried look on her face and is looking towards the land. And then you'll notice these dragons who are eating or trying to take down the boat. Now, usually it's referred to as a way that she's moving away or you're moving away from, and they're facing the other direction in the boat, but she is obviously worried. And in my own opinion, I think that this is Astria's sister going for refuge within the island, which her sister has been transformed into. That's why I told the story at the beginning, because I felt like it was important to understanding more about the deck. Now, I love the way that each of the Ace of Swords is like this window, this vision into what will be or what is to come, like a portal of sense. I do like that the kings have some age on them. I find that to me, that's the way it should be. And the pages do look young, so I like that too. Some of these images, like you have a lot of fire here, but again, I don't know, I just find it interesting. If you understand the story a little bit, then you understand looking at the cards a little bit more. Here's a Two of Pentacles, and you see what's going on within the sea, which is reflective of your regular RWS, but with a little bit more fire. I don't know. I kind of dig it. I like it. The Wands is an interesting suit to me. And in particular, until I read the guidebook, the Eight of Wands, because at first I looked at it and I thought, she looks trapped. And it's really not a card of being trapped. It's a card of momentum. But in reading the guidebook, it references it to the directions are open. Like, what direction do you want to go in? How can you kind of move this energy? You know, where can you take this momentum? It's up to you. Like, it's open for you. So after reading the guidebook, it kind of made a little bit more sense, and I did appreciate it. Now, this Five of Wands kind of makes me laugh a little bit because I'm not quite sure. I guess they're not in battle, but they're certainly not in unison. So, but I don't know. I just find the look on their faces a little amusing. Overall, though, I really dig the deck. I really like the deck. Let's see. This Medusa card. Oh, isn't she stunning? Now, I'm just thinking for the future. Like, is this a hint, maybe, of what is to come? Maybe a future tarot deck? I don't know. These four are, oh, no, sorry, 6. These 6 are the extra cards. So Equilibrium, Wisdom, and as you notice here, she's in blue, and I will give you a little hint on that in just a moment. So Sol et Luna is sun and moon. And I'm thinking that this is going to be the overall theme for the Oracle deck. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not quite sure. And then you have this girl right here. So let me explain a little bit to you about this one right here. This is referred to as Melusine, and she is the daughter of Racine of Avalon. You know, Avalon, the one everybody reads about. So she was cursed by her mother and turned into a mermaid every Saturday. The story goes deeper, but I'm just kind of paraphrasing here. But she was turned into, eventually she was turned into a serpent monster. But one of her daughters had one red eye and one blue eye. So I do think that it's interesting that you do have just these blue here, the red and blue. So I think that's going to go along with part of that theme for the Oracle. Now here's Asteria, and you can see all of the stars and the moon, everything that she is the goddess of. And then here within the belly, I think that's Hecate right there. Just beautiful. And this one, this image is so divine. I just love that one. So that is really about it as far as my commentary and opinions about this deck. But I dig this deck, and I am quite happy that I went ahead and ordered it. I like that he has the Tree of Life here. I like it. I think it's pretty cool, and I think I'm going to be using it quite often. And I think it has a completely different feel, completely different theme than the Solaro Occulto. And as you can see also, like the cardstock, it's a big, chunky deck. Like, look at the difference. That's a big, big difference. So the cardstock is very different. This is a much thicker cardstock than this one. And just completely different feel from both decks. Oh, that was one more thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Another thing that I took note of. The one that I was describing to you, the Melusine. If you are familiar with this particular goddess, and I will put a picture of why, because Melusine is the mermaid that you see on your Starbucks card, or the Starbucks symbol, rather. That's Melusine. All right, guys, that is it. That is my walkthrough of the Crimson Asteria. I am so sorry that this one went a little longer than my usual walkthroughs, but I looked up all this information on her and I really wanted to understand the deck. So that's why I went so far into the description of the story and the underlying stories and everything that goes along with some of the other cards here. So thank you so much. As always, I am so very grateful for you guys tuning in and taking a look at these decks. So I wish you a beautiful day filled with love, joy, and happiness. From my heart to yours, I will see you later.